Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Dark Art Society podcast. My name is Chet Zar, and I'm your host. And we have a great interview for you today with the amazing Jamie Wells, who's a really excellent artist. And it was a really fun conversation, just a great one. They've all been so good lately. They're always good. The artists are amazing. Very interesting people, always. So yeah, that's coming up. And let's see. What's up? What's been going on with me? Well, I guess the big news for me, what's been happening over the last week and weekend was that I got into the NFT market and sold my first NFT. Did really well, and wow, amazing. I know a lot of people hate NFTs, but I need to do an episode just on NFTs because it's so much different than I expected. Just the whole community getting involved, and I think it's going to be huge. The whole blockchain reality that's coming and Web3 and all that business. So I won't go overboard talking about it today, but it's been really amazing. Um, I guess quickly I can say anybody interested, just go on Twitter, follow the hashtag NFT, start listening to these meetings, which is Twitter's version of Clubhouse, where you can just kind of listen in on people's meetings, or you can ask questions and just check out the community, because the community is what makes it. It's all about the community. If you create an NFT and just expect it to sell, it's not going to happen. You have to get involved in the community and get to know people and all of that. But the good news is it's a great open community. People really seem to want to help new people understand what's going on, and very cool, very cool. Reminds me of like a giant version of the Dark Art Society in a way. Everyone's super helpful. So that was the big news with me. That's what's been going on. I've been getting back into some painting, painting some studies for a sale I'm going to have probably, what is today? Tuesday, maybe Friday, so sometime this week. And so I got some back here, some of the studies in the background here. And what else? I was going to talk about one other thing here. Now I'm blanking. Oh well, I forgot. So let's just get on with the new subscribers. If you want to join, support the podcast, you can do it for just $1 a month. It's so cheap. And that is at patreon.com/Dark Art Society. Now, don't get it confused with patreon.com/Chet Zar, which you are also welcome to join for only $1. That's the starting entry point. But sometimes people join my personal Patreon and then they think it's a Dark Art Society Patreon, but it's not. So patreon.com/Dark Art Society, and then you can get in the private Facebook group, which is really great, and lots of improvements coming to the website. And we're always trying to grow things, make things happen. Podcast is now, it comes in a video edition that if you're on the Patreon, you get to see it. I've been dropping them publicly maybe 2 to 4 weeks after you guys get to see it. Same in the audio podcast, you get an early edition of it the day before. Usually, lately though, it's been like the night before at 8 o'clock. So it's not that early, but I'm still always trying to juggle things. Oh, the other thing, I forgot about this. And I don't know if I talked about it. When did that happen? Let's see. Let me look at my calendar here. My book came. Did I talk about this? maybe. Yeah, I must have. No, I didn't, because it came on the 11th. Or yeah, the books came on the 11th. So it's after I recorded the last podcast. Yeah. So that's the real big news, is the Dystopia book was delivered. 8,000 pounds worth of it. And luckily the truck driver was cool enough to use his, I forget, like it's called a hand lift or something. It's like a forklift, but not one that you get in and drive around. And he was able to take the pallets into my backyard. So I just had to move them into my garage. I was able to get all of them to fit in my one car garage that already has hundreds of Black Magic books in there. So that was a big deal. And you probably, or maybe not, but if you follow me on social media, you know that they came. But that was just a huge milestone. They look amazing. They look just like the sample they sent me. So I am ready to start shipping them out. I've ordered some boxes, but it's going to take a while. I also wanted to include something extra for everybody for waiting. So I'm kind of like waiting an extra week so I can get some goodies to stick in there as well. I figure at this point, a week's not going to kill anybody, but they're here and they're amazing and ready to ship out. So probably we might start shipping this week. If not, they'll start shipping on Monday for sure. But they might start shipping as soon as Thursday or Friday, which would be amazing. Oh my God. I can't believe it's over almost. Not over yet, but they're done. Let's have a moment of silence. Okay, that was long enough. Anyway, thanks for bearing with me on that. I bet you're so sick of me talking about this goddamn book. Seriously. It's ridiculous. Oh my God. I'm not going to go on and on about it, but you know what a big deal this is for me. And there are 500 or 600 extras after they go to Kickstarter backers. So I don't think they're going to sell out that fast. It's not a cheap book. I'm going to have to price it kind of high because it really is. It would be weird to have a book that nice be cheap, and they were not cheap to produce anyway. So, they'll be under $100, but not a whole lot under $100, I'm guessing. I still haven't kind of settled on the price. Anyway, so that's that. New subscribers. See how I'm all bouncing all over the place. I'm kind of a mess. Okay, so we left off with the Mad Poet. New subscribers. Thank you, Randall Perkins, for keeping track of this for me. I appreciate you, man. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay, deleted. Tess Rains. Thank you, Tess. Justin Zazula. Cool last name there. Thank you. Joseph Butler. Eno.1. Thank you, Eno. And that's it. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Amazing. Love it. Great. You're making this happen. And everybody appreciates you. Everybody who listens to this podcast appreciates that you are helping to produce it and support it with your donations. Okay. I guess that's it. Let's get on with the interview. It's a really great one. Really, Jamie's awesome. And I really enjoyed talking with her. So here it goes. Hope you enjoy it. And I'm going to hit, for the first time, I'm going to hit my stopwatch so I could time it, because now that I'm on Zoom, it doesn't have a counter like when I used to do it. I had a counter so I could, anyway, that beside the
Going
point. We're
analog.
recording. Yes.
Oh, nice.
All right. Hello, Jamie.
Hi, Chet.
How's it
Thanks
going?
for having me here. It's going great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for
Excited.
having me.
Yeah, I've been
Such an honor.
Oh, excellent. Well, it's such an honor
Yes.
for me because I'm such a big fan of your work. It's like
Thanks.
I don't see enough of it online. It's like when I go to your website and your profile, it's like, what the, what, why isn't, yeah, why isn't this everywhere? This is amazing. I mean, really, it's like this high level work you're doing. Really, really amazing. And a really great balance of, I'd mentioned earlier when we were talking before the podcast, like such a great balance of dark and light, I guess is the easy way of saying it, but not too grotesque to where you're sort of like a way, you're like a gateway to people that have more traditional artist taste, a gateway into the dark side.
Yeah.
You're the gateway drug.
I am. Welcome.
So
I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I like playing with the line in between the dark and the light, the beauty and the grotesque, and
yeah,
it's fun to me. I guess you don't see it enough because I don't post enough.
You need to toot your own horn more. That's what needs to happen. You need to self-promote more.
I suck at that. I need to do marketing lessons or something.
Every artist, almost every artist sucks at it. It's like you gotta. It's a skill you gotta learn, just like any other. It's like, my friend said, you gotta do the dishes. You gotta take the trash out. Nobody wants to do it, but you gotta do it. That's how marketing is. But yeah. So, but your work is so good. It's so excellent. So I'm really honored to have you on here.
Really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's like I didn't realize. It's funny because I think about I've met you at conventions for years, right?
Yeah.
And I had no idea you were doing this kind of work because you'd come up and we'd talk and we kind of got to know each other through the convention circuit. And I like, if I would have known, I would have been like, whoa, okay. But
I'm pretty bad at feeling myself. I don't know, like, yeah, for years, like we would run into each other, and I guess throughout that time I was still figuring out my style, my vision, what I want to say with my art. So like when I moved here to California, I wasn't quite ready to put my stuff in galleries or show to galleries my stuff. So I was like, not yet. I still need to work on it. But I go years and years working on it, and when am I gonna get the stuff out there?
Right. I think it's time.
Yeah, it's time. Definitely.
So you're from Houston?
Yeah, born and raised Houston, Texas.
Cool.
Yeah.
So okay, let's go back to the beginning. Were you the art kid?
I was the art kid.
Okay.
I was definitely the weird, quiet art kid. I don't know. It was always like, yeah, definitely. I drew a lot of cartoons. I just watched a lot of cartoons growing up. So I remember I had this Powerpuff Girls folder. I loved it. And I would trace over it every day in school. And I'm not paying attention in school. It's stupid. I just wanted to draw. So I'm like tracing over, learning how to draw. And I'm like, wow, I love cartoons. Courage the Cowardly Dog. I was tracing over that. I don't know. It was just so fun to me to create things. And I feel like I've always been like super anxious and suck at talking to people and making friends. So in a way, my art was that way to connect with people.
Right. Yeah, that's how it was for me too.
I was like, oh yeah, she's the art kid, the artist. I'm like, yeah, you guys like me because I make art. Let's be friends. And then I'm like, are we really friends? No, you just want me to draw for you for free.
Well, it's a way to, start forming your own identity and making friends. It's kind of like a socialization tool for those of us. Imagine having, the same feelings that we did and not having that skill to sort of use to,
Mm,
we'd be in a
mhm.
lot worse shape now, I think, if we didn't have that to kind of fit in a little more, to find a place in regular society. you
For
know
sure.
it's kind of a life-saving thing to be able to
100%.
do
Art
that.
saved my life.
Yeah.
It was definitely my coping mechanism throughout life,
Yeah.
throughout my childhood.
So we're how did it what did your parents think about it? Were they supportive?
Yes and no.
Mm.
um, so my mom's an immigrant from Vietnam,
Mm.
and my dad's an American man from Louisiana. And they're very polar opposite, very opposing
Uh-huh.
views. So my mom was classic Asian mom, very rough on me.
Ah,
Stop doing that. Don't do that. Be a doctor, be a lawyer.
right.
That's not going to make you money. Stop that.
Mm-hmm.
And then my dad, very sweet, very supportive. That's nice, dear. Good job. Keep drawing. So I had this really polarizing dynamic growing up. And on top of that, I never saw them happy, like
Mm.
like a normal, I guess what you see on TV.
Yeah,
Like
right.
I'm watching sitcoms or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, this is weird. This is what a
Yeah, and
happy
they're
family's like.
yeah, they're just like rubbing your face in it on every TV show.
Yeah,
Like,
like
you
nah,
don't
nah,
have
nah, nah.
this.
You don't have it. You don't have this. You'll never will. You never will. So yeah, they divorced when I was pretty young,
Mm.
and um, yeah, like I said earlier, just escaping to my room and drawing was my safe space to
Mm-hmm.
make art. I just had me and my art, my pencil and paper, or my Crayolas and paper.
Sounds
Yeah.
almost exactly like my situation. It's really
Yeah, I've heard you
exactly.
talk about your upbringing a bit, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what the hell? Mine's so similar. What's going on?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so weird.
it's a trip. And the immigrant mother thing, it's hard to get too down on them for that too, because they're I
Mm-hmm.
think I forget, I'm not sure which episode it was, but I talked to someone with immigrant parents that was saying that they were kind of the same way. And it's like, you understand it
Mm-hmm.
because they're coming from a place where just, they grew up often in poverty and
Yep.
without
Yep.
any opportunities. So they're like, I want my kid to have the opportunities I didn't have. So it's understandable. It's a bummer, but it's still like, you can't get too mad at it.
Yeah.
It's just me because she cared about you.
She cares so much. And it's taken me years. Like I would say within the last 5 years or so, I finally cracked the code. I'm
Brought her
like
around.
best friends with my mom
Oh,
now.
good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. Like she's more supportive now and understanding. But I totally get, like, now that I'm older, I can look back and kind of connect the dots. Like she just wanted the best life possible for her kids.
Right.
And she didn't want us to experience what she went through.
Right.
So she's like, I'm working my ass off so that you can have a good life.
And then you're sitting there
And
drawing pictures.
yeah, yeah. What's that for? What are you doing?
Everybody knows artists are broke.
Yeah, do your homework. Doctor, lawyer, whatever.
Yeah, right. That's too funny.
So funny, so funny. And so I feel like that definitely pours into my art, this being pulled apart in two different directions dynamic.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that now that you mention it too, that you've got a lot of like, melting faces turning into something weird, but then there's like a kind of a normal figure in there. And interesting. So I'm assuming this was a natural occurrence. It just kind of happened, or how did you come upon this the style you have and what you're creating? It feels to me like natural, subconscious kind of doodlings in a way, sort of basically the same way I do, where it's like, I'm not really worried about meaning too much. I'm just letting it flow. And
yeah, 100%. It
okay.
starts with like this meditative kind of mindset I try to get into. And I'm like exploring the subconscious and observing nature and how we're connected to nature. Insects, bugs,
I
how they
know.
go through metamorphosis.
I
Yeah.
love your bugs. They're so cool.
Thank you. I feel like I am a bug, or I was a bug in a past life. I got stepped on or squashed or hit by a truck. I don't know. Like cicadas under the ground, and they
Smashed
crawl
them.
up.
Smashed. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then hanging onto the tree, and then they burst out of their bodies and make
Right.
some wings and have sex and die right away. I love cicadas. They're so beautiful. I have a lot.
Well,
I have a bug box over there.
oh, really? Yeah, my granddaughter for a long time had a bug box. Every time we'd find a cool a June bug or
yes,
little dead baby lizard or something, she would keep it in her bug box. She just has always been interested in that stuff. But
it's so weird. I did the same growing up. Ladybugs. I played with worms in the dirt a lot as a kid.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I always felt like some kind of like connection with animals and bugs. Like, you know, I imagine in reality, bugs are basically like just these kind of automatic little nervous systems, you know, that just kind of go. But I always sort of imbued this kind of humanity in them. Like I never liked killing them, and I always felt weird about smashing bugs. And it's like, you know, everybody I knew would just step on a spider when they saw it or smash a bug, and it's like I was always like, it like hurt me to see that, you know. It's like me
too. You poor little thing. You're just
it's like
living your life.
Yeah, exactly. I still do. It's like you feel bad for them. They're like innocent, you know. They're like innocent.
And paper. Bring it outside.
Yeah. Always. It's
every
funny.
Time.
It's funny because one of my neighbors, she always tells me, I put another spider out. Yesterday I caught one, because up before we moved in many years ago, she would just kill the spiders, and I forget what I said that turned her around. I said, I never kill. I mean, it was like an offhanded thing. It wasn't some big soliloquy I was trying to convince her. I said I could never imagine making something so amazing, like creating something myself that was like a bug. It's a miracle. So I can't kill them because they're so amazing. And so she said after that she stopped killing all the spiders in her house.
That's so beautiful and so true, though. Wow.
I know, it is.
How funny.
So you never know the little ways you influence people when you say things like that.
Wow.
But bugs are so beautiful. I mean, they don't get the love they deserve, because they are incredible. If you take the creepy factor out, you know, spiders still give me the creeps for sure, but they're definitely amazing, and I love them for the creep factor. It's like I respect that creep factor. It's like, that is such a fucking awesome creepy design, you know. Nature, you just nailed it, you know. But
good job, nature.
But you know, just the colors and everything are unbelievable. They're like little alien spacecraft or something. They're so weird.
100%. They're so beautiful, and how their wings are structured and gives them flight. Like, I can't fly.
I know.
That's so cool.
I can't even. I wouldn't even. Yeah, it's like I couldn't even design something that cool. It's like so much of what we do as creature designers too, you know, that's one thing that working in the film industry, very often when we're trying to come up with aliens and new creatures, it's like there's reference material of bugs everywhere, you know. It's like we used to always use bugs for reference because they're so cool and designy and weird, you know. Like, I don't know if you know Steve Wang.
Yeah, big fan.
Yeah, he's like he's a lot of his stuff is very bug like, and I remember seeing him use bug reference a lot. And
Simon Lee's sculptures as well.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
So good.
Amazing. And now I got to get him on. I had Steve Wang on the podcast, so he was awesome.
Oh yeah, I listened to that one.
Yeah. He's a super nice guy.
I have a bug right here. This
Oh,
one's one of my
cool.
favorites. I turned it into a sticker.
That's excellent. That's so
Thanks. I
cool.
don't know if it's focusing or not,
Yeah,
but
yeah, it
it's
did.
kind of like life size almost.
That's so
I really
cool.
like it.
Is it a bug or is it a made up bug?
Made up bug. I put a face, alien kind of face in there, I
Oh, I
guess.
didn't see the face. I think I've seen that
Oh
one
yeah,
though. I've seen that. Let me
you've probably
see.
seen it.
Hold it up one more time. Where's I don't and now it's blurring.
This is such such a funny way to show something.
I know. That's really cool. That's
Yeah,
really
thank
cool.
you.
You've done a series of bugs with like faces in their backs and stuff, right?
Yeah, a couple.
Or at
I
least a
definitely want to
few.
do more. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels kind of creepy,
Yeah,
cool. I don't know.
yeah,
They're just so fun to make, and it's like a face that would wake up at any second and stop you from squashing it. Like,
yeah.
hold on,
Right.
there's a human soul in that or something.
I love that. This reminds me of a dream I had somewhere. Oh, I wonder if I have the sketch. It was so cool that I pinned it on my wall somehow. It's around here somewhere. But I had a dream that there was, I think, a woman or I don't, maybe not a woman, a person, or maybe it was me standing there, and there was a big
Mhm.
beetle
Ooh.
on my shoulder or someone's shoulder, and the beetle was like a big ass beetle with legs, and the whole body was a head, like a little person's head, and it was a woman's big, like beautiful eyes, like real dark kind of eyeliner, real big eyes though, and
Uh-huh.
covered by like like what do you a burqa. It was like only the eyes
What's that?
show, those like the Middle Eastern headdress
Yes,
things where it's
yes.
just their eyes showing. And so it was
Whoa.
like the body was a head, I think, in a burqa with just the eyes showing, and it was kind of like looking like that. So it was just these eyes on the back of it
What
was
a sick
so creepy.
visual.
Yeah. So I immediately drew it, and
Wow.
I'm like, I just have
It's
to
around here somewhere.
yeah, I have to. I remember it in my mind too. I had have to make a painting of it at some point because it was so creepy and weird.
It's funny you mentioned dreams and ideas kind of like
Mhm.
that because I get that all the time. I will have like experiences in my dreams from the bug's perspective,
Oh,
like
really?
feeling like for the first time I'm moving my wings and I'm trying so hard to flap them. And I'm like, I wake up from it because it's so intense, but I'm like trying so hard. My arms are so tired, but I'm the bug's body. I'm not me anymore. But there was this one dream, another one similar to about the flying thing.
Mhm.
It was like this bug from the face on the back, and I could see the sky like going and going, all the clouds going. I'm like opening my eyes and I'm looking up and seeing the sky go by because I'm flying. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah,
Wow.
I did it.
That's so
I made it.
that is
I
so
don't know.
cool.
I
That's a
have a lot
trip.
of very vivid dreams and I try to write them down. I had a dream journal for a while
Hmm.
and I couldn't keep up with that, but I did for almost like a year on my phone and it really helped me retain the dreams after
Right.
waking up. And I think I'm still pretty good at it, but I should probably get back into the practice.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Um,
If you write it down right when you
mhm.
wake up, you'll remember it.
And
Uh
it's so true.
yeah, because I dream, I have like these vivid epic dreams just pretty much every night where it's like all night, a 8 hour movie.
It's a whole movie.
Yeah, it's huge. And then if I don't I'm too like just I can't even see to write. I'm all bleary eyed. So I usually just kind of like talk into my, if it's a good one that I can remember, I'll say it into my phone.
That's a good
And
idea.
a lot of times it's like I go to listen to it and I'm like
The
trying to
hell am I saying?
transcribe it.
I get a
But
lot of ideas like flash images for pieces as well.
oh,
Um,
really?
there's a particular one I made called Little Lady. It
Hmm.
was this oval Stonehenge paper, and it's this female praying mantis, but kind of mixed with human, like a little bit of the nose and mouth. But the eyes are like huge with this noise grain effect. I'm obsessed with the noise grain effect with graphite. And I really
Yeah.
wanted to use that technique. And then I had a dream about that creature, just like an alien transmission in my mind just before falling asleep, just like boom in my face. And I was like, whoa, that's kind of creepy, but it wouldn't go away. So I was like, okay, I think it needs to come to life.
Oh, that's so
So
cool.
I doodled it real quick on my phone on Procreate with my finger, and
Hmm.
then went to bed, woke up, looked at it again, and was like, yep, I gotta draw that.
That's so cool. Stories like, I mean, I think, that goes, not that we're not talking about this, but I do think that like stories like that really go a long way to selling work. People
Mm-hmm.
I love to hear interesting stories about how an artwork was conceived, especially when it comes from the dream world, because it almost feels like stuff that comes to you in dreams is like, you know, uh, the least contrived that you can make something. You know what I mean? If it's coming from a dream, you're not imposing your will onto it necessarily. You're not trying. It's just coming to you
Yeah.
through some deep place, and it feels like super pure, I guess. You know?
Yeah, that's a great point. It's like another dimension, just filtering whatever it wants onto you.
Yeah.
And you're the receiver, and you're like, I'm open for this.
Right.
Because you're in that dream sleep state. You're more open, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fascinating.
And in falling asleep stage you're talking about too, where you're starting to fall asleep, or
Mhm.
if you wake up in the middle of the night and you're in that weird in between sleep twilight kind of sleep
Mhm.
zone, seems like your subconscious is more easily accessible during those
For sure.
moments, for visual things. Wow,
Yeah, it's
cool.
crazy.
It is crazy. So okay, so let's see. You moved. Okay, what was the deal? You drew throughout school. Did you go to college or anything? Art
I did
college or
not.
yay.
So yay. Who needs it? No, not that's not
I
college
know.
advice. Don't listen to me,
I know.
guys. Um,
I shouldn't have said
um,
yeah.
yay. Well, I went to a early college high school, if that's anything. It was I guess kind of private but public. You
Hmm.
had to do like an essay and a test to get in. And I don't know, I guess leaving middle school, my mom was still pretty present in my life. Around that time, they divorced,
Mm.
but I wanted to make my mom happy. So I was like, okay, I'll go to this fancy seeming school to me. um, yeah, it was wild because you go straight from middle school to college, basically.
Oh, weird. So no
And
high
that
school?
was no, it didn't really feel like a normal high school because it was
Wow.
like early college. So
What a
here's your
trip.
seminars. They had what's called packs, personal activity kits.
Huh.
And I was shit at doing them because it was like, there you go on your own terms. Turn it
Right.
in when it's due.
Wow.
And I'm horrible at managing time, getting things done. So I just wanted to play video games and draw and do art. And I never did any of the work, which is kind of stupid. I eventually did do the work though, because they were like, we're going to kick you out and you won't be able to participate in your art contests anymore if you
Oh,
don't turn in any work. Because I was failing everything.
wow.
I was failing computer keyboarding. That's like the easiest thing. I'm good at typing. I like typing, and I just didn't want to do any of the work.
Right, right.
Um, so yeah, you had your seminars every month or couple months or so, turned in the work when it was due. I think I really appreciate that environment though, because looking back, I see how it was like a buffet for art for me in the
Hmm.
art department upstairs. That was my haven, my safe space.
Right, right.
All the art supplies and tools around me that I didn't have access to at home,
Mm,
because we weren't well off growing
mm,
up, and
mm.
so like there was Conte and colored pencils and
Right.
oils and watercolors and like all this kind of free stuff I could use and steal. I didn't steal too much.
Gotta do what you
But
gotta
like,
do.
yeah, exactly. I was like, oh my God, I want to learn how to draw. I want to learn how to paint today. I want to learn how to do this and that. And I was good at turning in the work. I was good at doing the work. I don't know. I was pretty confident. I was like, yeah, I'm the art kid. I like doing this. This is what I want to do.
Mhm.
There was a pretty huge, crazy moment that was really validating for me in pursuing art as a career, where I won a huge cash prize in junior year.
Mhm.
And it was a pretty cute sculpture. I'm pretty proud of it.
What was it up?
Oh, what'd you say?
What was the sculpture?
It was this girl sitting on a snail reading this book, kind of Tim Burton-y style, because I was obsessed with him back then. And like this tree, I made this tree out of wire and then covered it with air dry clay, and then put a bunch of glue on the ends and used flocking and like dipped it in there.
Oh, cool.
Make it look like leaves. And I put fake eyelashes on the girl's eyes. She's like looking down, reading this book, and the snail has these big eyes like on the end of the stalks. And the eyes were super fun to make because I tried using UV resin, and I put that under a UV lamp to cure.
Oh, cool.
And it had like this concave convex effect, so that the eye was kind of following you.
Wow.
I was
That's
doing all
pretty
this
advanced.
in like junior, sophomore time of high school.
That's pretty advanced.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I was really glued to the internet and the library. Like I don't know. I just researched a lot and did whatever I wanted. I think what really allowed that to happen was growing up. I had a passed down computer from one of my cousins on my mom's side. And then we finally got internet, and wow, that just unlocked the doors for me. I was
When did you get on the internet the first time?
I don't
How
know.
old were you?
I was too young. I should have been supervised. 11, 10?
Yeah, because I'm old. So like I remember when the internet first came out,
No.
and it was like, and getting my first computer. And I was just talking about this again, maybe it's on the podcast or somewhere I was talking about, maybe it was on one of the Twitter spaces, where I was like, I remember when the internet was brand new and I couldn't understand what it was when people were trying to explain the internet to me. So it's like, you grew up with this technology, which is awesome. But I was like, I had my kids at that point. And when it was like, I was like in my mid 20s or something, early 20s or something. And I was like, and I remember being like, what is a web page? What is email? I don't understand it. And I remember my computer, it's like, it cost $5,000, and it was like some crappy ass, like they all sucked back then. They were so slow, dial up, I got a 56K modem. It's awesome. That's fancy. But man, it was
like Windows 98 time, I guess, or 2000.
Man. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was like, I remember Windows 95. So it must have been 95 somewhere.
Yeah, around that time, I think I got really into gaming. One of my uncles showed me Tomb Raider, and I was playing the shit out of that as a little kid. And then one of my cousins showed me The Sims 1, and that I played a shit ton of. I don't know. I was such a child of the internet, and I feel super lucky to be born at this particular time, because I feel like it's really made me who I am today.
Yeah.
So much information out on the internet. You can Google and learn anything at any time.
Yeah,
so,
it's amazing. Yeah. It's like my grandkids are they've never not known iPads and
yeah,
the
isn't
internet.
that wild to think about now?
It's just like anything they grew up with. It's just part of daily life. So what a trip. And then the next generation is going to be like, oh yeah, the metaverse. When there was a time without the metaverse, what are you talking about? It's like,
oh yeah, NFTs.
Yeah.
I know what that is. check out my collection.
Blockchain.
Yeah, blockchain, easy peasy.
You mean
It's
there
gonna
was
be
a
so normal in years from now.
You mean there was a time when people hated NFTs and constantly talked shit about it?
People used to
Why?
hate the internet and talk shit. Be like, oh, it's just a fad. It's going to pass.
That's what a friend of mine was saying. He's like, he's an older guy too, not as old as me, but he's an older guy. And he's like, I remember when cell phones first came out, people were like, why would people want a phone all the time? Nobody wants a phone all the time. You know,
pagers are fine. Why would you need that?
Exactly. Pagers. Oh my God, pagers. Wow. Yeah. So okay. So did you like? What did you major at this pre-college thing? Did you have a major or something? How did it work? Like, did you study
exactly
specific
a major? You could like tailor your courses as you went along to be like more specific towards what you want to major. So like if you wanted to do English 5, 6 or whatever, it would cover the basic course, so you don't have to take it again in community college.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, my mentality was so kind of dark back then. I was like, I don't need to do that. What's the point? I don't need to do any of this. What's the point? I just want to play video games. I just want to do art. I don't need to go to college. I think the main thing was like I couldn't afford it, and why would I take out money that I know I have to pay back later?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be held down that way. So
did you have like an idea for a career at that point in art, or were you just sort of not thinking that?
Definitely I wanted something art related, but I guess I was kind of floating by in a weird way. I could see the potential on the internet. I was like, oh, I could go into YouTube or streaming or
oh wow. So yeah, you're so young.
I'm 27 today.
Yeah, you're younger than my youngest kid.
Wow. Yeah, I'm young. I need to utilize this time to,
yeah, you're so lucky. It's amazing. Like, God, imagine being 27
very
again.
Lucky.
Do you feel old though? Because I always felt old. Like, and my wife says the same thing. She's always felt old. We both like, I always felt
your old soul.
Yeah, just like, you know, I always, it's part of like not feeling like you fit in with your peer group too. Like
100%.
I always felt
was that way growing up too. Always hanging around the older crowd.
Right. Yeah, me too.
I don't know why. Maybe because I wanted to be older so badly. I wanted to grow up so badly. And do what I wanted and get away from my surroundings.
Yeah. You know? And you probably look younger than you are too. So probably when you were a kid, you looked really young. I always looked, I still look, I don't look, I'm not young looking, but I don't look 54, you know, and it's when I was a kid. Yeah. What? I told you I was old.
No, you're not.
born in 67. Yeah. I was born in the 60s. I was born during the hippie era. That's how old I am.
That's awesome though.
but and it's like, you know, I hardly have any grays. I don't dye my hair. It's kind of, I'm lucky in that way, but
what the hell, man? I'm getting grays now.
I've got grays. It's just like there's single long gray hairs. It's like I don't have spots. My beard, I don't know if you could see, but
yeah.
In my beard there's a lot of grays. But
salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Wise.
But when I was a kid, also, I always looked way younger than my age too. I just have like a baby face, or underneath this beard, it's kind of baby face-ish. And so I always wanted to be older, you know, you know, and I hated being mistaken. I think it might not be worse for a little boy, but you know, boys want to be like tough. Yeah. And when you're always people think you're like a year or two younger than you are. And I also looked like a girl. That was the other thing, because I have like kind of long eyelashes, and I used to have blonde hair, and my mom used to let me have long hair. And so people always thought I was a girl, and they used to drive me crazy for a little
People always thought I was a boy.
Really?
That fucked with my head growing
up.
Yeah, I had much shorter hair. I went crazy with a razor blade because I was like, oh, I'm trying to be emo. Let me just and I like shaved a bunch of parts of my hair, and it was like really short and really long in some places. It was ridiculous.
I gotta see
A
pictures
lot of
of that.
eyeliner. I know, it was
We'll put that. We'll
ridiculous.
put those pictures in your gallery on the Dark Art Society page.
Oh God.
No, we don't have to. Just kidding. Just
And
kidding.
make it an NFT, and I'll be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, you got to earn from that kind of embarrassment. All about you make an NFT that I'll make an NFT of like 1984 when I kind of had a mullet. How about that?
Deal. Sounds like a deal.
Anyway, that's weird though. We both had that. People thinking we were the opposite gender of what we were. That's a trip.
Yeah,
we've got a lot in common.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, I didn't really mind it back then, but I guess sometimes I did mind it. Like one time a substitute teacher came up to me and asked me directly, "Are you a boy or a girl?" And I was like shocked in that moment. I was like, what do I say? I've never been asked this by a teacher before.
Right.
So I just kind of stayed quiet and whispered, "I'm a girl." And then she's like, oh, okay. And then walked away. And that kind of stuck with me. I was like, but what does it matter?
Right.
Like, why did she have to ask me that? Would it make any difference if I said boy or girl? Like, because I had like a baggy
you gonna treat me different or something?
Exactly.
You know,
like, why do you need to know this information, ma'am?
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I guess for me, I grew up in the 70s when that happened. You know, by the time I got into the 80s, I was like a teenager. And so, you know, the 70s was super sexist and very like still, you know, it was a different era. It was very I don't know, boys are expected to be a certain way, and you know, manhood and all that stuff, and being thought of as a girl was like, as a little boy in the 70s, is something you didn't want. You didn't want that, you know. So it was like emasculating for a little boy, you know what I mean? That wants,
for sure.
And I was shorter than everybody else, and I looked younger than everybody else. So it's like, it's just pile it on, you know. It's like
right.
You know, but I don't know. It's just part of what makes us who we are, you know. I'm sure it had something to do with making me a more empathetic person, I think, you know, having gone through that kind of pain and stuff. So but okay, so coming out of school, did you get into an art related field, or what was next for you?
Yeah, so after graduating high school in 2013, I had already been hanging out in various online communities.
Wait a minute, you said graduating high school in 2013?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know,
okay.
I know.
Keep going. I had to make sure I heard that correctly.
Yeah.
It's like 2013. 2013.
What year is it right now? Huh?
It was.
Okay. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was like 2013. I had left the film industry, my 20-year film industry career.
Oh wow.
And I was off on my own. Like, and I'd been and I was pretty well established. Wait a minute, 2013, we were making the documentary.
Oh.
And it's like, that just sick. Feels like it was yesterday. Anyway, sorry, I digress. No okay. So okay.
You're good.
Graduated high school in 2013.
I was already streaming a little bit on Twitch a little before graduating, you know, some video games. I did some art on livestream.com, I think it was called. I don't know. Twitch didn't have a art category or creative category. So I was like, I don't know where I can stream my art. Well, I'll just try this website. Streaming art on a different site, games on Twitch, and I was like, I want to stream my art on Twitch. Why can't I just stick to one website? So now this is a little after graduating by this time, and my mentality was kind of weird, I don't know. I'm like, I'm gonna go full in. I'm gonna figure this out. I don't need college. I'm going to live off my art somehow on the
I
internet.
I did the same thing, except
Yeah,
without the
it's
internet.
very, very like tunnel vision, kind of
Hmm.
unhealthy. I don't know. I don't think I had a very healthy mentality back then. So I was streaming art on Twitch, but it would be fan art for like a video game. And I set the category to the video game and do fan art of the game. And that's just stirred some shit up. People would come in and be like, this isn't gaming content. I'm reporting you. This isn't allowed on Twitch. I'm reporting you.
Oh my God.
I didn't care. I kept on going with it. I met other artists that were also doing the same thing on Twitch, and we really like stuck together. And then eventually the creative category happened. And so this was like a year or so later, and I'm gaining a following, a fan base on Twitch, sharing my art more on Instagram.
Oh, cool. I didn't realize that you started out on Twitch.
Yeah, that was pretty huge, I think.
How long are you still on there? Are you still doing it?
Occasionally I come back and stream games every now and then.
Really? What was your like? I don't know. Do they have followers on Twitch? I never really got into Twitch.
Yeah, I have like 19K ish followers on there.
Wow.
My account has been around for a long time, and I think a lot of people followed me just for gaming in the beginning. And I'm like blending the two fan bases of who followed me for games and who followed me for art. Did that for a few years, and then in 2016 I was contracted to stream on the Adobe Twitch channel.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know awesome. That. Wow, that's big time. That's cool.
Huge. I know. It was crazy. It really allowed me to, like save up and move out.
So you were making money from that?
Yeah.
Wow. Solely supporting yourself. You didn't have to go work a crap job or anything?
Right. Well,
amazing.
I did work a crap job later on.
Everyone should work at least one crap job.
They should. It really humbles you.
Yep.
Gives you perspective and empathy. Yeah, so I did that for about a year on the Adobe Twitch channel while still doing my own thing on Twitch. But then that ended kind of abruptly on Adobe. And during this time, I had already moved out to California to live with John.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was kind of wild. We met on Twitch.
A modern romance, let me tell you.
Very modern, very funny.
That's cool.
I was streaming my art. He was streaming his. I was like, hey, I like your art. Like, hey, I like your art.
That's awesome.
And during this time of streaming, I had already been visiting California multiple times and just falling in love with California and wanting to move here. Like, also all growing up, I'm just imagining, oh my God, Hollywood, the dream. I want to go to California. Like all the media I was consuming, movies and shows, and I hear it's coming from Los Angeles, it's coming from California, and it's got this like dream image in my head as a kid. And for a while I was super into special effects and makeup, so I was like, oh, I want to do that.
Oh, really?
I forgot to mention that earlier.
Oh, wow.
During high school, yeah, I would like show up on Halloween day with my face painted like a skull, like a realistic half skull thing. I was obsessed with Zombie Boy back then too. So I was like, yay, I'm going to school on Halloween like Zombie Boy. Rest in peace. Yeah, so I wanted to do that for a bit, and I never realized how much you had a hand in my childhood. Like creating the monsters, the special effects, the makeup, everything. Like you worked on a lot of things that I was a fan of growing up.
Oh, cool. That's so funny.
Such a trip to be on this podcast right now.
That's cool. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Met John on Twitch.
Cool
he's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Already had a flight booked out here for a creative meetup, meeting a bunch of other creative streamers in LA, and that was awesome. Met John, hung out with him. Ever since then, like I missed like 3 flights in a row to go back to Texas because I was like, I don't want to leave him. I'm happy here. And then it's like, oh, I gotta go to the airport. And then we would get to the airport too late.
Probably on purpose.
Yeah.
Subconsciously on purpose.
For real. It's so stupid, but I love it. And then like opportunity arose. And about 6 months later, I'm moving in with him to California.
Wow.
And I had just met him. I would not recommend to do that to anyone else.
We're an
anomaly.
Yeah, you hear stories like that once in a while where people just meet and they just click and they go right into it and have these long, relationships forever. Like they're committed to each other. But yeah, it's not something you can recommend. It has to something like that just has to happen in a natural way,
Yeah,
it's
can't force it.
It's so unlikely and weird that it's just kind of, you just gotta go with it. That's
it's
cool.
Like through this weird kind of journey also of like trying to love myself more, and and just trying to accept myself. And the moment I look back now, like the moment I let my guard down and stopped trying to find that one person, just stop, just like leave it, go on with your life, love yourself first, and then they will come along when you least expect it.
That's how it works. That's how it works. That's how it was when I found my wife too. I was like, I'm not gonna look anymore. I'm not trying. I'd been trying.
It's beautiful.
Trying to have I was just a relationship guy since I was a kid. It's like I've been trying to find my dream relationship ever since I was 13 years old or whatever. And it's like, I finally was like, I'm done. I'm just not going to try anymore. And then boom, then she came along and it was like, oh, okay, I don't have to try anymore anyway.
That's amazing.
And we're still married after 30.
Wow.
Something, so many years. I can't even remember. 33.
Amazing.
Well, like a year older than my kid, 33. Yeah, crazy. So it does happen.
Dreams do come true.
It's true. Wow, amazing. So that kind of brings us to the present, except we haven't how about your we haven't talked a lot about your fine art career outside of your streaming career and stuff. Is that something that was happening while you were streaming as well? Like, were you showing in galleries, or is this something you're just starting to show in galleries? I know you've done conventions where you have your work and all that. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. So during streaming, I was trying to come up with, pretty good pieces. I wanted to put my art into galleries and stuff. But it was an interesting balance, I think I was still very much like trying to figure out my voice and my technique. So back then I was streaming watercolor stuff, watercolor paintings,
Oh wow,
portraiture, landscapes. It was really fun. But it was like this odd balance of making a performance versus making a good piece of art. Because then I would stop streaming.
It's hard.
Like, that sucks. I need to fix that. That sucks. I need to fix that. Why didn't I see that while I was live? Oh, because I was balancing the performance aspect with the creation.
Totally.
Yeah. So that's a whole nother thing in itself.
Yeah. It's hard to do.
I was experimenting with other mediums, sculpture, drawing, digital art. I had done digital art first, actually, when I started streaming around 2013, but my computer could barely handle it. Thankfully, my community helped me raise money to upgrade my computer, and I could stream higher quality games, and it could handle the digital art. Right. But then I was like, I'm going to do traditional art. I want to share my stuff I'm more familiar with. So yeah, I was just mainly using it as a way to be experimental and figure out what I wanted to make with my art. A lot of it was like happy little accidents, as Bob Ross would say. with watercolor. I feel like I got really lucky at times when I'm trying to create one specific thing, like an eye or a face or whatever. I'd be like, awesome, that looks great. Let me do that again. Shit, I don't know how I did that. That was just pure luck.
Right.
And that really frustrated me because like I've always been someone who's really focused on getting better at the craft and improving, always trying to do better than the last thing I just made. So
Yep.
I was really trying to like hone in and focus on that. But around I guess 2017-ish, I started developing this really weird skin condition. And that really affected everything, mental, physical, emotional. I basically had to quit art for a bit.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
That really messed with me.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, I was trying to sculpt, and there was this one night where I guess I went too far with smoothing clay on a sculpture, and then my thumb broke out in these tiny little like fluid filled blisters. It's called Disadrotic Eczema, I think. I don't know. I've seen so many derms that just pass me along. I don't know.
Wow.
They give a cream like as a band-aid solution, and they don't try to get to the root of the problem.
Wow.
But anyway, so like if you have tryptophobia, get over it because it's on your skin now. It's like all these holes and then they get bigger and then pop and bleed.
Oh my God.
I couldn't do things.
So when you couldn't, when you drew, that would happen too. The pencil, I imagine, rubbing on your fingers.
Exactly.
Oh,
I had to find different solutions with gloves or gauze, and all while I'm streaming and people can see my hands. And I'm
oh
like,
my God.
oh, people
sounds
can
like a
see
nightmare.
This gross shit. So I stopped streaming as much and stopped making art as much. And that really affected me. I couldn't really function right. So eventually I was like, I have to get back to creating. Like I'm doing all this inner work of realizing like this is what I want to do. This is my calling. This is like creating art is who I am, and I have to keep going with this. So I was experimenting with different ways, like I said, like gloves with the medicine. And I tried to make things as simple as possible. I was like, let's get back to the basics. My first medium, pencil and paper, grayscale. No worrying about like watercolors and paints and clay. I was worried those materials were like causing this reaction. Still don't really know what's causing it. I think it's hot weather, stress, and eating gluten. So I've cut gluten out of my diet the last year, and I think that helps a little bit. I still deal with it every day, and I definitely see that it's influenced my art. Like I'm trying to turn the negative into something beautiful or positive, I guess. And it's a way for me to like vent all this bullshit through my art.
Right. Yeah. Wow. That's intense. I didn't know.
Thanks. So, I'm not too open about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross, but
everybody's got gross shit that happens to them. It's like
100%.
Gross is part of being a human being. It's like, we need to get over it. But so is it like under control now, or is it just something you've figured out how to work around?
Yeah, a bit of both.
Okay, that's good.
I finally saw one dermatologist, and I was like just standing my ground this time. I was like, no more steroid creams, no more, like just give me something that I haven't tried yet, because they would give me in the past different dosages, and she prescribed me Eucrisa, which is non-steroidal. And that's been a huge help in like slowing down the formation of the bubbles and kind of making them smaller until they will dry up and the skin will harden. So it's like a shell, and then it'll flake off eventually. So it's not ideal, but it's been the best thing that's helped me so
Hmm.
far. I also get it on my feet now, which is stupid. So I can't really walk as much.
Jeez, that
I
sounds
don't
like a
know why. Like, it just doesn't run in
crappy.
my family. No one in
Huh?
my family has this. And
What a trip.
I'm so
Interesting.
confused why I have this. But I feel like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah,
And
I
maybe the
agree.
universe is giving me this new art series. I don't know.
Yeah, or it's something that won't reveal itself to you fully for, you know, a year
Mhm.
from now or something. You never can tell these things that happen, how they're gonna be like groundwork for something else down the line that who knows? It's like
Yeah, you never
you
know.
never know. Um, wow, what a trip. So that's a bummer, but it's good that you're able to still do your work. And so I guess um
Oh, I
my
didn't touch on the galleries
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, galleries.
Sorry.
That's okay.
um, I finally got to show in okay, well, first I did my first show online with WowXWow.
Oh, cool.
That was huge. It was this drawing.
They're great.
They're amazing. I loved him.
Yeah, really cool dude. Really cool dude.
I had this 11 by 14 drawing called The Emerge, and it was huge for me. That was like a breakthrough moment on figuring out how to work with this skin condition and to like relearn how to draw. I had to learn how to draw with my non-dominant hand too for a while because my right hand would be so flared up. So I would like brush my
Wow.
teeth with my left hand so that my left hand can do the drawing. Because I'm like, I need to figure this out. I need to create.
That must have been really difficult. That's like Frank
Yes.
Frazetta, when he had a stroke, he had to teach himself to paint with his left hand.
Wow,
So
that's wild.
the end of his life, he was painting left-handed, and it's like you're still making amazing shit.
Amazing.
Yeah, where
Um,
there's a will, there's a way.
absolutely. I'm very grateful for John. He carries me so much when my hands are bad,
Mm.
like cooking or cleaning or whatever,
Yeah,
because I
that's
couldn't do
awesome.
any of that.
Wow.
So yeah, I worked on that drawing. I posted work in progress on Instagram, and I guess I used the right hashtags or something because WowXWow emailed me and was like, "We love that. Put it in our show, Eternity's Engine." And I was like, "Yes, let's go." So showed online with them. That was awesome. And then, so that was like late 2019, I think.
Mm-hmm.
No, like 2018. I don't remember time anymore. Um, I was
I,
at a convention, Son of Monster Palooza, and Hyena Gallery had a booth there. And then I'm so shy. I don't know. I can't talk to people, but I was like, I need to get into galleries. I need to start talking to people. So I approached, I think Bill was at the booth or
uh-huh.
both of them. I'm not sure. Like, hey, I'm an artist. I want to show in your gallery. Just so awkward, but they said yes. And I made a piece for their one of their group shows. This was definitely late 2019. I remember this because then the pandemic happened in 2020, and then I was like, shit, I just got into my first gallery.
Oh, wow. Wow.
What do I do now?
Wow.
um
Yeah, that's a trip.
I showed a couple of pieces at Hyena Gallery, and that was awesome. um yeah, so this is all while I'm still like battling the skin condition, but trying to turn it into something a little positive, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, and feeling more solid with my technique and my voice now as an artist. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get myself out there now. Here's a pandemic.
Right. Yeah, I've heard that story from a number of people. Like, we just gotten ready to do this.
Mm-hmm.
We had this big plan. It's like the Tool tour, they had the big tour,
Mm-hmm.
and like, boom, it's just a pandemic. A lot of bands happened to a lot of bands, and a lot of people I know had kind of big plans as well. And it just made everyone stop. What a trip.
Tool was the last show I saw live before the pandemic in October.
Oh,
That was
really?
awesome. Yeah.
Wow. That's a good one inspire you through the pandemic, I guess.
Yeah, it's perfect. Good one to end on.
Yeah.
I guess.
So, can you hear that? My dog scratching.
Yeah.
She's scratching. She must have
I'm
an itch.
kind of upset my dog hasn't showed up yet. Where is he?
Yeah. What the hell? This is a dog-friendly podcast.
Yeah. Sputnik. Come on.
What kind of dog?
He's a mix, pit bull mix.
Oh,
I'm not sure
right.
what else, but
Yay.
definitely pit bull. Yeah, I love
Whoop,
pits.
whoop. Yeah, they're the best.
Yours is a
right?
pit too, right?
Yeah, she's a pit mix. We think it's a pit bull, French bulldog mix. She kind of looks like it, but you know,
how cute.
We just found her. She was homeless running around the street.
Oh, you saved her.
Yeah.
We rescued him from OC animal shelter.
Oh, cool.
It's like one day I woke up and told John, I want a dog.
Yeah.
And we went to the shelter and
They're
came
the
back
best.
with him.
They're the best. Are you?
Yeah, dogs are awesome.
Are you in Orange County, or is that sort of? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Wow. It's so nice to hear someone from Texas coming to move to California instead of leaving California to go to Texas, which is you heard so much of that. You know, you heard so many people leaving. It's like, you know, there's a reason it's expensive here. It's because it's really cool. You know, it's like
we pay extra for the good weather.
Yeah. Exactly. Don't go to Hollywood Boulevard expecting to be impressed with anything other than the utter filth and bizarre, weird comic book characters, you know, in front of the theaters, trying to get you to take a picture with them and charge you money. It's like
so funny,
the belly of the beast. But that makes me think, and because I want to get into this a little bit, I'm sure with this condition, creating NFTs has helped.
Oh my God.
If you don't, you know, if you're like maybe working a little more slowly now, having this extra source of income, that seems like was helpful to you.
It's huge, right? Huge, man. Because when I was streaming with Adobe, you know, like I said, that let me save up to move out. And then a little bit after moving out and Adobe ended, I was running out of money. I was like, shit, what do I do now? And I'm battling the skin condition. I'm like, I can't get a normal job. What do I do?
Right.
So I ran out of money like for a while, and I'm so grateful for John helping float me by.
Right.
But I did have to get a shitty retail job. that was not fun.
Yeah.
That made my hands worse.
I bet.
It sucked. But yeah.
So how'd you break into the NFT thing? Because I didn't know. I had no idea you were in the NFT space. As you know, I recently got in, had a pretty big success with my first one. I'm trying to help other people to get into it because I think it's amazing. And but you're already there and have been having some really good success with it.
Thanks. Yeah, kind of already, I guess. I'm still learning. I'm
right.
Still figuring it out.
You know, that's what I hear for a lot of people is I talked to a bunch of people that have been like having that I thought were old timers in the space. And it's like, yeah, I've been in since October, you know, same as you, October, you were saying, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just, it moves so fast. It's weird.
It's so true that a day in the NFT world feels like a week.
Right. It really does.
Moves so quickly.
It's so strange. So how did you get into that? And again, I want to stress that, you know, having this medical condition, people, you know, the people that are really hating on NFTs, I know people that had medical issues that were that it's like serious life-threatening medical issues that were on their last leg. They didn't have any money. They didn't have any insurance. and they needed an operation, and they got into NFTs, and they ended up, it like saved
Wow.
them,
That's
saved their
so
lives.
amazing.
Yeah. And
That's so good to hear.
yeah, and I've heard a number of those stories. There's been amazing charity projects that have raised a ton of money with NFTs. There's just but more than anything, I've heard from artists who couldn't quite crack the gallery scene model, and got in but never sold enough to make a living, like a living to where if you lived in a big city to afford it. And so it's like, it's really this, if nothing else, if you hate everything about NFTs, you got to give it up to the fact that it's giving people, it's giving artists, our own people, it's giving artists a chance to make a decent living like everybody else.
It's
instead
literally
of
saving lives.
right. And yeah,
Yep.
literally. So it's like if that's important, that's like really important. That's not something you can kind of overlook and just go, yeah, it all sucks, fuck it, I'm not going to be a part of it. It's like, it's when you see, I've heard people on these Twitter spaces, which is where I guess a lot of the action happens as far as learning NFTs and people talking about what they're doing. I've heard people like on the verge of tears, talking about how this has just changed their lives. It's real and it's serious and important. So I don't know. I just anyway, I don't want to get too into the controversy of it, but tell me about your experience in the NFT world so far.
Yeah. Literally life changing. Like, I've spent so much money on different creams and medicines, and none of them really worked. And I couldn't really work a normal job with my condition. I have to go at my own pace and be very careful with what my hands touch or what I eat, what I do. So working for someone, they're not going to take that into consideration. Like, what? You need a break? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got into it about late October. John, who I live with, he's been super into it for like about a year or so. But he started making moves in the Solana space late last year. And I'm like over his shoulder, like, what is that? what you got going on there? And I'm learning from him so much. And it's literally a game changer for all artists. It's going to save so many people's lives. The fact that you can get whatever royalty you set to your NFT in perpetuity, it's going to resell, and then
right,
you get that royalty right into your wallet, no middleman.
Right, instantly.
It's so beautiful. Yeah, like there you go. There's money. Go live.
Yeah, there was a I think it was maybe overturned or something, but there was a law in California for years that if your art sold on the secondary market, artists were supposed to get 10% royalty. And I think it only lapsed maybe a year or so ago or something. I never got fucking 10% royalty on shit. And my stuff, I watched all kinds of stuff is sold on the secondary market. So it's like nobody enforced it. So it was a law, but nobody enforced it. And it's like, you don't need a law for this because it's built into the NFT smart contract.
Yeah, it's decentralized. It doesn't need anyone doing all that computer stuff to make sure you get your royalties, because who's going to do that? Right. This is baked into the code and you're just going to get it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like I have something similar. Like, I've sold originals throughout time on Twitch, and I never see them again. I don't know if they're going to be resold or not.
Right.
But if they are, and I'm not going to get any royalty.
No.
You never see that piece again usually.
Right.
Yeah.
It's, to me, it's like another I guess maybe galleries and stuff might feel threatened by it, but it's to me I think galleries need to get into it, because it's going to
I
be
agree.
another way that galleries can continue to do the kind of business they're doing. It's just like,
Hmm.
it's like a gallery that offers prints of their artists.
Exactly.
It's like a new way
Yep.
of monetizing your work, like you monetize them with prints, like you monetize them with books, whatever you do to t-shirts. It's just another version of that, you know. And people love it. People are into it. It's you know, it's fun. That's the other thing I didn't expect. It's like, it's so fun.
Yeah, it's so fun.
It's just, it's so different. I can't stress it enough how different it was than I thought it was when I was standing outside of it looking in. Once I got in,
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I get it.
same.
I get
Yep.
it now. It's like, this is super fun. It's one thing that people that hate on NFTs never talk about is that it's totally community based. It's
Yes.
all about the community. So if you go in there without getting involved in the community and try and just sell your stuff to them, you're not going to make any money. It's like,
Hmm.
you have to get in the community, because it's
Hmm.
about community. It's
Yeah,
like
you
hard
guys
to,
are all in it together. You got to
yeah.
support each other.
Yeah. And it's like, when someone sees someone that wants to be involved in their community, it's a very open community too. It's like, they are happy to have you come in. And then it becomes like a bunch of artists and collectors all helping each other
Yes,
move up. It's unbelievable.
it's beautiful. We
Yeah,
we
it
all
really
have
is.
the same common enemy, the man.
Right.
So we got to stick together, and we all get it, and we just hope that more people will open their minds so that they can get it too, and really feel and receive the benefits, because we got to eat. Artists
Right,
got to
right.
eat.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, from my perspective, I don't need to start making NFTs. I finally, you know, over the last 2 years, I finally got to a point where I've got a business model that works. And when I need money, I can make money. I have different ways of monetizing my work that consistently work for me. And so I can make it. And so I don't need to do NFTs. So I I'm not like, it's not like I'm not going there to mine the space and, you know, make a quick buck and get out or anything. It's like, it's more like, I want to um it's just, it's another, like, again, it's another way of making prints or something, whatever.
Yeah.
But I when I'm talk to and other artists, it's like, so, okay. I lost my point. My point was, when I'm trying to get artists to come into the space, I'm not like, I need that. I need them to come in so this Ponzi scheme will work. So they'll buy stuff.
That's
It's
what
not
people
like
think it
people
is,
think
and
that
it's
you're
not.
trying to like I said, I don't need this space personally. I don't need to do it. So but so when I'm getting, I hope that people trust me, that people have been following me know that I'm not trying to scam them. I think I've built up a reputation where people know I'm genuine and I don't do that
Hmm.
shit. And so I'm trying to get people over for them. It's not for me. It doesn't benefit
Hmm.
me at all to bring for them to come in. So I'm hoping that they see that, because my only reason for talking to NFTs with artists is like, I want to help them, you know, because I see that it could be life changing if you do it correctly, because there's a wrong way and a right way to do it. But
Hmm.
I'm genuinely trying to give back to the community. And so then when you get hate for that, it's like, kind of it pisses me off a little bit, because it's like, I'm trying to help you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure you get paid for what you're worth, because I think your work is awesome. So, but whatever, that's a whole other issue I don't want to get into. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I relate to, man. I'm like trying to help change my artist friends' lives, and
Right.
they already have, I guess, this opinion because they hear whatever the news or social media says about
Right. Social
NFTs. And
media. Let's
definitely,
get real about it. Nobody's
definitely.
talking about the stuff on the news. It's on YouTube.
It's
It's
on
like
social media.
social
Yep.
media, which we all know is such a reliable um way to get your information.
Oh, it's perfect.
but
100% factual all the time.
yeah.
But it's like they don't want to do the digging or the
Right.
research or opening of the mind. They just have this already set opinion. Like, no, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Like,
And
well,
it's happening. That's the thing, that it's happening with or without them. It's not going to make
yeah,
a lick of difference to the NFT community, whether they come in or not, but it's going to make a huge difference in their lives. And it's like, well, you're the one missing out. So that's a bummer, but because it's already so big and it's not going away.
yeah,
I really think it's here for the long haul.
yeah. The sooner the better people get into this, for sure.
Yeah.
I also, I feel like another important thing is that I want to show other women that they can make it. Like,
Right.
come on, join the space. I want to be like helping them out, like showing them like, let's fight this male dominated space
Totally.
and
And
make
I
a
do.
change.
Yeah. And I see that's been a nice change of pace too, especially kind of in the dark art I'm seeing in the NFT space. There's a lot of women. It's
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
there's probably not enough, but still there's more than I expected. It's pretty cool. It just feels like it's such a level playing field in a way too, for all different types of artists, because if you get in
yes,
there and get in the community, they will embrace you. If you're doing good work, they will recognize it, instead of trying to stand out in the regular art world where there's just all kinds of people and it feels very finite and hard to break through. Whereas this is a place where everyone's going, come on in. We want you in here.
welcome. Yeah,
Welcome. I'll talk to you and I'll help you. And there's
yeah,
more
yeah.
than enough to go around for everybody. Everyone seems to have this attitude like, I have not encountered anybody yet. I mean, I'm still brand new, but I haven't encountered anybody that's like being secretive. And I'm sure there are people like that, but I
Yeah,
haven't
there's people
encountered.
like that everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Exactly. But I haven't encountered anybody like trying to be secretive and like, oh, I got to get this out before this guy does. It's more like everybody's sharing each other's stuff. Everybody's
Yes,
helping each
yes.
other. It's weird. It's weird. It reminds me of the closest thing. I keep making the analogies. It's kind of like the Dark Art Society cooperative group, where everybody in there is like, nobody's trying to step on anyone else to get further that I'm aware of. It seems like everybody's all about sharing and helping each other. It's just like a huge version of that, and at least my experience of it so far. But
Yeah, it's amazing.
yeah,
Pretty much everyone I've met is super sweet and welcoming. It's amazing.
I know. It's, you feel like a
It's so
cult
weird.
member because
I
everyone has the
know.
same experience. And so you feel kind of like, I know I sound like a shithead. I really do, but it really is what I'm saying. It's amazing. It's so, and you can't, it's like tripping. It's like you can't understand what it's like. I'm not suggesting that you have or have not. I'm not asking that, but I'm just saying you can't understand what it's like to trip until you trip. And it's like that. It feels like, having done both, it's like, I know that when I got in the NFT community, it's like, oh, I can see you can't understand it from the outside. You can't
Right,
really
right.
understand it until you're involved and talking to other people and seeing how the community works and being active in the community. It's all about the community.
Yes,
It's like, you know
100%.
what I mean? It's like there's this amazing technology, and without the community, the technology would just be this technology sitting there, or people trying to use it for whatever reason. It's all about the community. And I don't want to get too far into NFTs, but I do want to say the artwork on there is so good. That's the other thing that I didn't expect. There is so much amazing artwork. Like you just get the crappiest
Yes.
examples, like Gary V's sketch doodles or whatever, and thinking that, oh, it's all a bunch of shit like that. It's like, no, people are doing some of the coolest work I've ever seen is being done in NFTs. It's like new and like it's really, it just blew my mind. It's totally blowing my mind to the point where it's like I have to stop myself from really getting too crazy about it because
Oh my God, same.
yeah, even though
I go
I
to
won't,
bed too late. I eat too late. Like it's taken over my life.
yeah, it's like I won't, even though it sounds like I won't shut up about it. It's like I'm holding back. Believe me, I'm holding myself back from. I mean, my wife already is like, stop talking about NFTs. It's like, I've heard enough. I get it. Show me the money, basically, or show me this thing is real, or rather
Yeah.
than a bunch of
And it
talk.
is real.
I
It's not
know
just talk, people. It's
it
real.
doesn't seem like possible until you sell one and
Yes.
you're just like, wow. It's just that, and if there's anything, I'll wrap it up because this is your episode. I don't want to hog it with NFTs, but I just thought it
You're
was
all
good.
good.
I just thought it was good because you're a good example of someone it's changed your career, and it's kind of seems like it's
Mhm.
changing your life, and it's helping you with this illness you have. It's like it's
100%.
made a huge difference in your life, it seems to me, and you've just are
Yeah.
only a few months into it,
I know.
right?
Where is it going to be in like a
I
year?
know,
And I have all this work too. Like,
right.
so I've been showing with WowXWow online, and I've sold a few pieces, but I've also made a lot of new work that I haven't really been good about, posting on social
Right.
media. Like you said, where is this?
Yeah.
So now I can make it into NFTs, and I feel like I'm starting to get the recognition I deserve,
right.
like for the first time,
Totally.
because I felt like a little water droplet in a giant ocean on Instagram
Yeah,
and Twitch eventually. Not in the early days. Early days of Twitch, I feel like it's a little similar to the NFT space right now. Because back then I was like, come on, everyone, you need to get on streaming, join us, stream your art, stream your art. It's not for everyone,
right.
but it was easier to stand out back then because it wasn't so saturated. So I
Right.
felt very lucky for that place and time. I was able to live off Twitch for a bit. But right now in this NFT space, it's a lot easier to stand out right now because we're so early on. I
Right.
think people need to think
And
about joining.
yeah, and it's so big, and it's like just a lot of
Mhm.
people hungry to see art. That's
Yes.
another cool aspect. I'm gonna have to do a whole show on this, I guess,
NFT
because
episode.
yeah, it has to
Yeah,
happen at this
definitely.
point. Just because I feel like I need to explain myself, my experience of it. But uh oh, what was I gonna say now? There we go. The
Uh-oh.
every episode sentence I forgot.
I'm kind of explaining myself for the first time on this podcast platform.
Oh,
So
good.
thank you for that. I haven't posted about me doing NFTs anywhere
Yeah, I
really,
didn't
but
even
I
know.
haven't, I know. Yeah.
It's like, you're doing
I've just been
NFTs?
kind of quiet. I don't know why. Like, I guess I'm waiting for a better moment to put it all together and explain it because I've
Right,
seen the backlash with other artists who make announcements about it. And
right.
I know that's going to happen. So it's
Yeah,
like, I'm not ready yet. Let me. So
yeah.
this is
Well,
kind of like dipping the toes in the
oh,
water,
good.
So thanks for this.
No, I think it's great. I think it's totally great that you're doing it. And it's gonna
Thanks. And I
pay.
think it's so great for you too. Like you're really adding validity to the space, especially for dark art as well.
Yeah, I hope that people trust me, because I know a lot of people think it's a scam and it's all scammers, but I figure I've spent a long time making sure, being honest with my fan base and with the community, where they know I think that I would never steer them knowingly in a bad, maybe they think I'm unknowingly steering them in a bad place, but I just don't see it. I don't
No,
see
you've
it
done
that
the
way.
research. You
Yeah. Oh,
see those. Oh yeah, go.
That's what I was gonna say. I remembered it.
Yes.
That's part of the reason I waited 6 or 8 months to get in, because I was just like, I don't want to hear a bunch of people yelling at me over it,
Yeah.
and so
It's overwhelming.
yeah. And I mean, I know one amazing artist that's been on the podcast. I'm not going to mention his name, but brilliant, amazing. And he was saying he started and he got so much shit from people that it freaked him out, and he didn't even get a chance to sell one because he got so much shit and he couldn't deal with it. And it's like, that just means, if you're being, that's just means you're an asshole. If you're doing that to an artist who's trying to make a living, get out of a desperate situation, then that's a shitty thing for you to do, and to be a part of that.
It is like, why
lame.
hate on or berate other artists for trying to live? Like, I don't know. Maybe redirecting it in a weird way.
The one time in the history of artists, they finally have a chance to make some decent money.
Yes.
And then you're going to shit on it.
Like we finally have an even playing field.
Right.
Like there's different options for everyone. And especially with the entry point on Solana, it's very inexpensive to join.
Yeah, it's super
very
cheap,
affordable for people. Like about $1 for minting something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A couple of cents, not even a couple of cents, like a fraction of a penny per transaction. It's so
that's
low.
amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, that's got me interested, because it was minting on the Ethereum network on Foundation was really expensive, and everybody hates the gas fees. Everybody complains about gas fees, and that's like a definite problem. It's not a problem-free space by any means, but it sounds like Solana is a pretty great way to go, especially if you're kind of just getting in, and you just don't have any money. What's $1? Most people have $1 to spend on something to try it out. Anyway, okay, no more NFT talk.
Cutting it off now.
Yeah, I mean, we could go another hour. We can easily go another hour and a half and just talk about it, because it's that exciting. So I will say, I will end it with this.
Yes.
If you're interested, go onto Twitter, unfollow all the political posts that you used to follow that made you want to leave Twitter, because
that's make a whole new account, man.
Yeah. Or make a new account for NFTs. Follow a bunch of NFT people that follow the hashtag NFT. You'll see a bunch of people shilling and stuff, but you'll be able to cut through eventually and listen in on Twitter NFT Twitter Spaces, which is their version of Clubhouse. Listen in on those things and start just getting involved in the community, to where you're asking questions and seeing what people are doing, and then make your decision. And if you're going to hate it, at least you're going to have an accurate view of what you're hating, because I guarantee 99% of the people who are hating on it don't have a clear view of what it actually is. And you can't really have a clear view until you get in there amongst the people. And you don't have to buy anything, you don't have to do anything, but the thing is, it's coming. Blockchain is coming, whether you like it or not, whether you get in or not. And if you get in, you kind of have more of a say on how it impacts the environment. And there's a lot of ways, you can make that statement in that space, depending on how you do it. You're not going to do shit outside of the space just bitching about it. I guarantee that, other than making artists feel like shit and scaring them away from the opportunity of their lifetime that could change their lives. So I'll leave it at that.
Beautiful.
Don't you think that was a good way to leave it?
It's a good one. Yeah.
So what are your we're I don't want to keep you much longer because we're at an hour and a half, but what do you have lined up for the near future or from the far away future? I mean, what are your plans and goals, and what do you got coming up, and what's in the future for you?
Well,
NFTs.
NFTs, making more art. No, man, it's huge how seriously this space has changed my life. I am able to approach my art in this really free sense now of not being strapped for cash. You have to make something that you think will sell, which
Right.
I did that a lot back then. And I don't know, it was still very valuable lessons for learning about myself and my art, my technique, my vision. So yeah, now I have this weight off my shoulders right now, and I'm just ready to explore more ideas in my art, more techniques, more different mediums, like digital art, digital sculpting.
Right.
And when I get my skin condition under control some more, tattooing. That's
Oh,
next.
wow.
I really, really want to do that. I don't know. It's just it's a buffet. Life,
right.
Art is a buffet, and I'm hungry. So,
Well,
yeah,
if you do well in the NFT space, you can do any of those things. You can take time to do those things if you make, if you do well, I think it. Yeah. I'm not going to get back into it. So I guess what I'm hearing is that you're just looking to continue on your art journey and see where it goes and try as many different things. You're just like we've talked about, you're still very young. So this is the time for you to be trying everything.
Exactly.
And experimenting and messing around and trying new mediums. So
getting better at the craft.
We're like early on in your career, so we can watch you develop, we can
definitely
watch, but you're doing amazing work. So
thanks, man. Appreciate you. I've been a big fan of yours for years.
Oh, thank you.
And we didn't even get to talk about magic yet.
Oh, no way. You're into magic?
Yeah. Yes.
Holy shit.
And
I didn't know that.
I've been doing it my whole life without realizing it.
Yeah, that's how it was for me too.
Yeah, it's so wild. So that's another thing. I'm really trying to focus on that craft as well. Do more research.
Wow.
I don't know. It's wild. I think I've been doing this kind of manifestation magic for years, and it's created this career for me in my life. And then I looked at my birth chart and I'm like, yeah, I'm an artist. Like, look at the way all the planets are. I'm supposed to be an artist.
Right.
And yeah, it's just wild.
Was this something you like intuited, or how did you learn about it initially?
Intuition for sure. And maybe media, like shows and movies growing up as a kid. I've always gravitated towards that darker witchy side of things, I guess. Like for Halloween, all growing up, my mom would be like, okay, you'll be a doctor for Halloween.
She was really pushing that doctor thing.
Yeah, got me the coat, the stethoscope, all good to go. And I'm like, okay. And then I finally got old enough and was like, I want to be a witch. I was watching Hocus Pocus, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I don't know. I was like ready to be what I wanted to be, something that wasn't me, and put the black lipstick on and unlocked something in me. Yeah, I don't know, just intuition naturally over time. And this YouTuber, Kellyanne Maddox, like she just opened the doors for me.
Oh, cool.
Found her, I think like late 2017 or so. Love her content, love her work. Yeah, so I just want to practice my craft some more. Just tie that into my art, which I already do, but I want to get better at that.
Yeah. Just refining your technique and experimenting and continuing to grow as an artist and a magician.
Absolutely. Yes. Excited for life.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah. Oh wow, you brought it up right the last minute when I was about to end the podcast. Well, okay, that's a good reason.
It's all good.
Yeah, that's a good reason to have you back on the podcast sooner rather than later, because we can get more into the magic stuff.
Magic and NFTs.
Yeah, we could do the magic NFTs. Actually, the place that I learned, I've talked about magic.me online. That's where I kind of started studying it seriously for, I don't even know how many years ago it was now. Again, I was doing it my entire life. And I had, my mom taught me, but it was a more new agey version of it. It was like a watered down kind of version, but it was what she knew.
That's so cool.
And but then I was like, okay, I want to learn at least. I just want to learn about it and know kind of like the best way to do it. And I started subscribing to magic.me. Anyway, he just put an NFT collection out.
You're joking.
No, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of all the students of magic.me, he put it. So cool. It's like a bunch of different artists that people, because there's a lot of artists on magic.me.
Yeah.
So he did a whole collection. And then he also said, he put a post announcing it. And one of my favorite quotes I've been using on all the NFT haters on Facebook is he said, ignore NFTs at your own peril. And I thought that's pretty perfect.
That hits.
That's
so good.
That's my feeling too. So
oh man, I can't wait to sign up now. I can afford it now.
Yeah,
this
right.
is crazy. Yes.
Yeah. I would suggest going on and doing the site-wide subscription for a month or two, because it's not that expensive. And personally, we seem to have a lot in common. And what resonated with me the most was the chaos magic and the advanced chaos magic. Those are the ones I use the most. And then there's the meditation one is really good. It's called like the 8 arms of yoga or something. It's not stretching yoga. It's like yoga is actually meditation. Yoga, I think the term yoga as a stretching thing has kind of been sort of co-opted. I think it originally meant more of a meditation thing. So awesome. So that's what I would suggest, but all of them are good. And there's some really great, he's got classes on using visualization techniques for artists to get ideas. That I know I have a friend who uses it, and he said every time he's done it, he's gotten these amazing painting ideas. Like he follows these steps, and it's really cool. So I would suggest that.
Very interesting.
But just let me know how it goes if you end up doing it. It's really cool.
Will do. Perfect. Hey, I'm excited.
Yeah, well, that's I feel so hopeful now for the future. It's so weird. This year has felt like, right? It's like there's
hopeless for so many years,
right?
And now finally a sign of hope.
Right. And I think that's one thing. Another thing that, again, bring up NFTs one last time. Another thing that NFTs is like, it's given artists, especially artists who've just been struggling for so long, it's given them hope for the first time in years. So I think that's amazing. Anytime you can give people hope, that's kind of a gift, So anyway, yeah, that was a great interview. Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It's been so fun. Such an honor.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, super fun. So I know people are going to love it, but we have to say goodbye to the audience before we stop. So just say goodbye, audience.
Goodbye, audience. Subscribe to the Dark Art Society Patreon. Share it. Follow it. Like and comment. Subscribe.
Thank you. Goodbye, audience.